Hello friends, welcome back to the Brightest again. I am your host, Mr. Bright. Did you know that in Europe, you have to literally pay to just wash your freaking hands? I mean, what the hell? Anyway, closing the running tap and moving on. According to you, who has a better sense of style or a better education system, Europeans or Americans? Let's see how many of you can guess it correctly. And if you're in Rome, then beware, especially pet owners, because if you don't take your dog out to roam 3 times a day, then you are actually breaking the pet law and you'll be fined $600 freaking for it. Crazy, right? Now a quick quiz. Tell me, are Europeans better than Americans? Or are Americans better than Europeans? No, wait, don't rush to answer, as you'll be able to answer this question only when you see the entire video, wherein we take a tour around Europe and the USA and learn about a few major differences between them, which I bet you haven't noticed yet. Number 1, dressing sense and nudity. Friends, what would you prefer more? Tight skirts or loose pants? Comfort over fashion or fashion over comfort? Well, if you choose fashion over comfort, then you are definitely a European. Why am I saying this? Because sense of style in Europe is better than that of the US. For those who guessed it right, here's something from my side. Like legit, guys, Europeans prefer fashion over everything, even at the cost of comfort. Fashion here, fashion there, basically fashion everywhere. Going for lunch? Let's change. Going for dinner? Let's change. Well, friends, that's Europe for you. And now, coming to America. Great movie. You will see a dress-changing difference. Here, have a look for yourself. You'll mostly find them in casual wear, whether it's party time or nappy time. Oh, let me tell you about the beaches. If you happen to go to European beaches, then beware. You may have to cover your virgin eyes, because there, people hardly wear anything, as if they belong to the Stone Age. Not kidding. And not a good place for kids to wander around with their eyes wide open. So whereas in Europe, nudity is gracefully accepted on beaches, the same cannot be said for the US. Why? Because they have stringent laws about walking around naked. There can be serious legal punishments and repercussions for people who dare to copy the European Stone Age no clothing style. Number 2, small versus large meals. Guys, are you hungry? Let's see what we have on today's menu. Oh look, we have European and American meals today. Here's your breakfast and your lunch. Now, which would you like to eat? And which do you think is healthier? The European meal or the American meal? Well, as you can see, European food is much healthier than American food, because Europeans focus on growing quality crops rather than injecting the crops to make them supersized. Also, when it comes to eating food on time, Europeans are more punctual than anyone. European countries like Germany, Austria, Sweden prefer to have their dinner around 6 to 7 p.m. However, Americans are quite the opposite. They prefer to eat at the time when you'll find most Europeans snoring fast asleep. Oh, which means it's very vague and not fixed at all. And another notable difference is that Americans eat a lot of junk, whereas Europeans prefer to eat healthy. As a result, 39.6% of adults in America suffer from obesity. Whoa. That's quite serious, don't you think? Number 3, working in Europe versus the US. How many hours do you think an American works in a day? 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours? Done guessing? Well, an American on average works for 8 hours a day. That is almost more than 40 hours a week. Gosh, and how much do you earn? They earn on average around $952 to $1,423 a week. Worth it? Yep, definitely worth it. Now friends, guess the number of hours a European works. Well, on average, Europeans work for 7 hours a day, and that is around 33.5 hours a week, which is not really a major difference from America. But would you believe me if I said that Europeans get more paid leave than Americans could ever imagine? Like, this is going to be a real shocker, guys, because maternity leave in Europe's Czech Republic is not just a period of 2 to 3 months, but it's a period of 2 to 3 years. Yes, you heard me right. Europeans value the importance of the new bond between parents and newborn babies to this extent. And when compared to the US, you only get 2 to 3 months maternity leave, and then you are called right back into work. Now tell me, who do you think has a better work-life balance? Comment below. Number 4, public transport and hygiene. Friends, did you know Europe charges you a penny for each and every little thing? Like from washing hands to pulling your pants down in the loo. You gotta pull your pockets, bro. Now charging you for peeing and pooping is understandable. But who the hell charges for just washing hands? Well, welcome to Europe, where nothing is free of cost. So if you want to use public restrooms, then be ready to pay 1 cent. Now, if you don't wish to waste your cent, then I'm there to guide you as always. Visit any mall and have a quick piss for free. You're welcome. But unfortunately, even drinking water isn't free here. Like if you sit in a diner, the server will come and give you a bottle of sparkling water to quench your thirst. However, you will be charged quite a lot for it, as sparkling water is quite expensive. So what to do if you don't want to buy an expensive sparkling water? Well, you can ask the server to get you tap water, and there, problem solved. But another shocker for you would be that in Europe, even still, water is charged. It's not free of cost, but it is definitely cheaper than sparkling water at any cost. Thank goodness America is quite chill when it comes to washing hands and drinking water. And now that you've had water, washed your hands, and paid the bill, let's get going on to our next destination. But for that, what do we need? Public transportation. Talking about public transport, guys, Europe's public transport is much better than the US, i.e., because Europeans take good environment more seriously. In fact, you will find people traveling by bus and using bicycles more often than using private vehicles for going to work. Plus, they also use electric cars to prevent pollution. How thoughtful, right? But in the US, you'll see that people prefer their own vehicles more than public transport, as a result of which there is just too much unwanted traffic and undesirable pollution. Number 5, waste management. Guys, you won't believe this, but collecting plastic bottles can make you super rich in Europe. Yes, literally. Well, did you know that in Germany, if you return a mere empty water bottle, then the government incentivizes you with 25 cents. Yes, as we know by now, that water is not free in European countries. So once the bottle is empty, you can bring it back to the supermarket and get your money by putting it into the recycling machine. Great way of compensation, right? And let me tell you that among other countries, Germany is at the top, and it's the best when it comes to recycling. Therefore, in general, Europe recycles more compared to the US. Want more proof? Well then, have a look at the systematic way waste is recycled in European countries. There are legit different trash bins for metal cans, plastic bottles, paper, and even bins for bottle caps. I mean, who does that? In fact, you'll find them spread across every 4 miles all over the country. Whereas in a developed country like the US, people hardly give much thought to recycling. And I bet you'll be shocked to know that Americans produce 3 times the global average of waste, including food and plastic.
Ew.
Guess someone needs to buck up. Number 6, education system. Guys, let's test your knowledge. Can you name the best universities in Europe and America? Oxford, Stanford, Harvard, Cambridge? Well, it's none of the above. It's MIT in the US. But the real shocker is that education in Europe is much cheaper than that in the US. In fact, in some European countries, even free education is provided. Take Czech Republic, for example. Students there can get their bachelor's and master's degree completely free of cost. Yes, you heard me right. That is because European governments subsidize universities. I mean, it's really such an amazing thing that this system creates such great educational opportunities for students. And now, after completing our educational tour from Europe and coming all the way over to America, be ready to carry heavy burdens of loans, because education in America is way too expensive. And the 2 major reasons for this are because 1, there's a lack of state funding, and 2, student loan debts are higher than ever. Currently, the US has more than $1.31 trillion in student loan debt. And now, friends, just have a look at how many languages a European is able to speak.
To pivo je výborný. Je to pivo očem vkusné. To pivo je veľmi dobré.
where Americans can speak just one language. English, great language, but come on, America, try a little harder to diversify. Europeans can speak not just one, but 5 to 6 different languages, such as Dutch, French, Italian, German, Spanish, etc. But friends, when it comes to students becoming independent and being able to stand on their own 2 feet, nobody can beat American students. Because at the mere age of 18 or 19, they leave their parents' home and go on to live on their own. Whereas in Europe, that is not the case. Adults live with their parents even at the age of 25. Because for them, family is more important than becoming independent. Number 7, metric system. If you are traveling to Europe, you are bound to get confused with its metric system because it's way different from America. Like, let me give you an example. 12 miles in the US means 19.31 kilometers in Europe. 10 pounds in the US means 4.53 kilos in Europe. 20 feet in the US means 6 meters in Europe. So basically, the US utilizes the imperial system, i.e., it uses feet, miles, and pounds to measure distance and weight, whereas Europe applies the metric system, i.e., meters, kilometers, and kilos. Also, if you are traveling by road in America, you will notice that the road distance on signs are displayed in miles. Similarly, if you are driving in Europe, car speedometers will show kilometers per hour and not miles per hour. Now friends, who do you think is better? Let us know in the comments section below. And I hope that this video has made you a little brighter than before. If yes, then as always, do not forget to like. And want more cool stuff like this? Then subscribe to The Brightest and get brighter every week. And let's meet again with another interesting video. Until then, you guessed it, toodles!